Younger people of Reddit. What are you tired of hearing from older generations? Anything to the effect of young people can't have back pain, or any other physical disability. Like, dude, I wish being in my 20s made me immune to being injured. But that's literally just not how the human body works. As a 29-year-old, tired of older people telling me I'll understand joint pain, tiredness when I'm older. I'm disabled and chronically ill. I have had bad joints since birth. Like, it's great that all your health problems are a result of your age, but mine have been around and will worsen because of that. I have more life experience than you, then proceeds to go on an emotionally stunted rant based on their own personal bias due to trauma they refuse to process because they know best. 34. I'm sick of hearing about how young people just spend all their time on TikTok. How they have stupid dances. How they're just staring at screens all day, blah blah blah. Yes, they do all that stuff, but we had stupid dances when we were younger. We sat in front of the TV all day. I've yet to see someone with square eyes. Also, hearing about how kids/young people today have no respect for their elders. MFS, we're doing the same shit that people today are doing now. The difference is, everyone has a camera in their pocket. I am 44, but I still feel like I am young. I am tired of hearing pretty much everything my generation says. I don't understand when everybody else just suddenly morphed into their parents. No one wants to work anymore. First of all, no one ever wanted to work. That's why it's called work, and not fun. Second of all, maybe it's that no one wants to work at your job that lists itself as entry-level but wants 5 years of experience and a master's degree along with being able to work 12-hour days at minimum wage. When you're older, you'll agree with me. FFS, just because you're older doesn't mean you're always right or that you know the answers to all my life's problems. You grew up in a different time period, with different problems, and different social views. Your problems might be similar, and you might be right some of the time, but that is no excuse to shut down every logical point I make against your beliefs with this line. When I was your age, I already had 5 kids and 2 grandchildren, or my granddaughter is your age and she already has 3 kids. When are you going to give you mom some grandkids? I'm 30. Not that old, not that young. But this kind of comment? Definitely old for me. I'm so tired of older ladies saying this. I think I wasn't even 18 when they started. They don't accept any reasonable answer that isn't a "I'm working on it," a "maybe later," or "I'm doing my best to get a steady career before having kids," or "we are saving." Gets them on a rampage saying some BS about kids not costing a thing and that I'm getting old or that women were born to be mothers or whatever. So I started being rude. Sorry, but not sorry. Nobody wants to work. I swear if I hear that one time I'm going to scream. Edit, I should have said nobody wants to work anymore, did we ever? Just less so now with all the abuse. They're so judgmental and rude. I'm a restaurant worker and I swear young people are way more polite and easygoing while older people have zero patience, even though they're the ones who are already retired, oftentimes make racist, sexist, homophobic, and body-shaming comments and still act like they're above the younger generation simply because they've been alive for longer. Stop eavesdropping. I'm not eavesdropping, you're just talking loud because you're deaf and I'm not. Just had someone the other day ask me, so why aren't you married? I'm like, if I met someone worth marrying, then I would. I'm tired of people complaining about how younger people are terrible as though they weren't the ones that raised those younger people to be what they are. How we can't fix anything ourselves. Then promptly ask us to fix their Wi-Fi, set up their new phone and figure out why their computer is running slow. We can do plenty, we just have a different skill set. No one wants to work, we want to work, just not for poverty wages. What are some simple yet incredibly disturbing/scary facts? Bored ducklings can become cannibals. Once you have the first symptom of rabies, it is too late to reverse. Moving back the start time for school in an area resulted in 70% less car accidents. Similarly, at each daylight saving, heart attacks and accidents decrease with an hour of extra sleep and increase with an hour less of sleep. Sleep is crazy important. Egyptian mummies wouldn't be so rare today if the Victorian British hadn't eaten most of them. Statistically speaking, if you are a woman and get murdered, it was most likely by a family member, partner, or ex-partner, in your own home. If you are a man and get murdered, it was most likely by an acquaintance or stranger, in a public place. Capgras syndrome is a mental delusion where you believe that the people closest to you have been replaced by imposters. Less than 10% of all species even have the possibility of being fossilized, and even more will never be discovered. So we only know about the existence of about 3% of all macroscopic life. Edit. Keep in mind every living animal, plant, and most fungi also fall into that 3%. You can be seriously injured from a sneeze. If you have a parasite in your body, there's only a slim chance you'll know about it before it pops out of your skin or leaves through the back door. Also, some parasites pop out of skin. If given access to it, butterflies will happily drink blood. Orca whales have been seen actively hunting moose in Canada. NASA simulated the response effort to a killer asteroid and determined they would need a minimum of 5 years' notice to have any chance of deflecting it, more realistically 10. We'd basically have to identify the thing leaving the Oort cloud Kuiper belt. Edit. Geez, when I went to bed last night this had 35 upvotes. Smarter minds have pointed out that the Oort cloud is very far away and that I was thinking of the Kuiper belt, which is a large collection of asteroids outside the orbit of Neptune. Still ridiculously far away, just not ludicrously far away. EDIT2, just before this becomes an Elon Musk proxy war, this study is about 5 years old but they threw the kitchen sink at it, meaning they envisioned a utopia where all humanity sets aside its differences and dedicates all resources, including nukes, to deflection, and it still wasn't enough. So perhaps SpaceX rockets will get there faster, but all that means is we will fail sooner. Let's hope we get some encouraging data from DART. Sharks have been around for at least 420 million years, meaning they have survived 4 of the big 5 mass extinctions. That makes them older than humanity, older than Mount Everest, older than dinosaurs, older even than trees. Yet we could potentially see them extinct in our lifetime. Cotard's syndrome, also called walking corpse syndrome, is a condition wherein the patient believes they are dead, dying, missing parts of their bodies, or don't exist. Some people with Cotard's syndrome may stop speaking or eating since they believe they're dead. I read somewhere, don't remember where, that you are more likely to be bitten by someone in New York than to be bitten by a shark. What is an instant turn-off? Putting other people down to make themselves feel better about their shitty way of life. Superiority complex. Body odor and having no manners. Like even a simple please and thank you. Saying they hate certain people then going out of their way to be around them. Littering. They come to me for emotional support but aren't there for me when I need it. That is when they get turned off by me and I realize that their view of me is just a fantasy they made in their minds and not actually who I am. I don't talk much prefer to listen, but if I do talk and someone interrupts me without a good reason I pretty much turn off. Bad hygiene. Mistreating people or animals you have power over. We won't have a second date if on the first date you are rude to the waitstaff unless they were rude to you first. Bad breath. Someone mean to animals. Smelling like you just went on a fishing trip with your 20-year-old dog and a gallon of expired milk. Being a Reddit mod. When they are actively dumb and not intellectually curious. Referring to himself as daddy like daddy's hungry makes me want to cry and laugh at the same time.